friends. Welcome to the global HQ of Elisa Hayes. I want to talk to you about how to journal. The question came up, discussion came up today in the group, so let's talk about it. I've been journaling now for 28 years. I started when I was 25 on a backpacking trip in Europe, because that's what you do when you're backpacking through Europe and you're 25 years old. You keep a travel journal, right? Yes. So I don't have the book with me, but I had a book, a journal, kind of like this one. And I pulled it out, had no idea what to write in it. I tried. It was awkward. I sort of narrated what I did that day. That felt weird and boring. And then I wanted to scratch it out. And I struggled with that for the first week. Here's how I fixed it. I took my journal, okay, book like this, and I turned it sideways. Now this one's closed, but okay. Got me? It's nice and lined, because if you're a perfectionist like me, if you like things a certain way, then you probably have a lined journal. And I intentionally wrote sideways, and I wrote in all caps with a lot of exclamation points, because by that point I was really mad about how tough it was to journal. I had no idea how hard could that be. I mean, a million 10-year-old girls' diary. Why couldn't I write a journal? So I wrote sideways across it. The next day, I turned the page and I wrote my budget, because I was backpacking around Europe and I was 25 and every single penny counted. And so I just did math. That's all it was. I just wrote math. And the next day, I think I wrote like a to-do list. Dumb things, dumb. But what I did was develop the habit of writing in the book, and develop the habit of understanding that this is just mine. It's just for me. Your journal's just for you. Nobody's grading it. Nobody's checking your punctuation and your spelling. It's true. So whatever you write down is perfect. Let it be. This is part of why the prompts help. When you can't think of what to write, you have the prompt, which keeps you on task. Here's another thing that I did wrong, I think, early in my journaling years. I used my journals as a place to vent all of my angry feelings. So venting doesn't work just as a thing. Just tuck that in your hat. We're not going to talk about that now and why, and just trust me, it doesn't work. But I did at the time think that it would be good to like get that off my chest. And so I wrote all of this just angry vitriol every time something came up that made me mad, and I was a young person. So then I'm kind of a passionate creative type. So a lot of things made me mad, a lot of people. And over time, I amassed a collection, volumes of books filled with things like that. Then one year on an Ash Wednesday, I looked at all of these books, and I realized that if I were to suddenly die, as actually almost happened years later, that would become part of my legacy. All of that anger and things possibly detrimental to other people's reputations, that would be my legacy. And I was horrified, because it's not really an accurate snapshot of my life. It's an accurate snapshot of a brief moment in time when I was really mad. I took all of those books, put them in the fireplace, watched them burn, and made a promise that I would never again keep in writing things that I wouldn't want my children, my mother, or my pastor all reading. Okay, maybe not the pastor. I got to be honest, I swear. In my journal, I do. But I wouldn't want anybody, I wouldn't want to put anything in writing that does harm. So kind of like a doctor, first do no harm. Brings me to the dailies. The dailies are I designed them for myself based on the journaling that I have done over time, and also based on what I know about neuroplasticity and healing and resilience, things like that. Way too much to try and encapsulate in this one little video. What this is for is to tell you that whether you write in a book, can totally understand that, because we spend a lot of time in front of these screens, don't we? Oh my gosh, technology is awesome. So whether you write in a book, or like me, you do actually use a screen and put in an iPad, that's a preference for me because of how I can store and reaccess the information, and I've been doing it that way for years. If you use a phone, voice to text, because otherwise it's going to be way too tedious. However you do it, if you print out just single pages, put those in a binder. Your first thought, best thought. It's a saying from Buddhism. First thought, best thought. Whatever you write down is perfect. If you have trouble with perfectionism, if you want all the words neatly on the lines like I do, then I challenge you to maybe turn the page sideways. Intentionally spell words wrong, leave out punctuation, leave out capitalization. Mess with your brain so that you can train your brain in association, neurons that fire together, wire together. You train your brain that however you, in that moment, first thought, best thought, however you write it is perfect. Train your brain. That way, you train your brain to quiet that judgmental voice. Because the reality is that you cannot cut other people slack to a greater degree than you will cut yourself slack. You think you do. I know, I can see you. I can see you. And you're going, oh, no, I'm much nicer to other people than I am to myself. No, you're not. I'm sorry, it's true. It is. Because even if you act in a way that is more gracious and generous and kind to others than you will be to yourself, you still have that judgmental level of expectation is operating in the background. That's part of the operating system. So we're installing an update on the operating system by doing it this way. And when you do that, it helps you to be kind to yourself and to other people. I think that sounds like a good idea. Don't you? So get started, be wild with it, and maybe we'll talk again next week. Tell me, do you like the videos? Should I do videos? I know. We're working this all out, evolving as we go. In any case, I am super glad and honored that you are here. Have a great day.